Hi, everybody. Jennifer from Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies here. Let me adjust my mic. I had a last minute microphone snafu, so I had to swap mics out. So sorry about that. Get comfortable. How is everybody doing tonight? Believe it or not, we are celebrating 1,000 followers on Facebook. I can't believe it. Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies has not even been a Facebook page for 2 years yet. August will be 2 years that we've been a page. I've been calling myself Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies since August 2024. So again, very exciting. Not even 2 years yet, and we've reached 1,000 followers. And also, as some of you know, when I had less followers, I was limited to how many people could see my stuff. And now with 1,000 Facebook followers, it really opens me up to a lot more things. So very, very exciting. And I just have to say thank you to each and every one of you who have watched, followed, liked, shared, subscribed. Please continue to watch, follow, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. I am definitely trying to build an algorithm, and I'm having so much fun taking you all with me. Let's see. I've got a few graphics going on tonight. Well, you just saw the big kahuna, the one I made. I'll play that again before the end of the night. Again, we are celebrating 1,000 followers tonight, and as promised, if I could reach 1,000 followers, and at this point I think I'm at 1,012, but I said tonight I would be giving away a deck of tarot cards. There, that's a close-up of it. Pink Gothic Tarot. We'll be giving that away. So I want to encourage everybody who's watching to comment. I hope everybody can hear me. If you can't hear me, please say so. I was having some audio problems during my kind of check, before I went online. So I don't see any comments yet, but please say hello and let me know who's watching, where you're watching from. Every person who comments tonight will get entered into the drawing for this, and then my friend Kerry is going to keep track of all the names, and at the end of the night she's going to draw a name and send it to me, and I'll announce the winner tonight. And you definitely don't have to be present to win, because I'll also announce it on Facebook, and I'll DM whoever. So let's see. I don't see any comments. I thought I had put a whole bunch of links there. I hope you can see them. I will talk about the links as we go on. Let's see. Anyways, let me get some housekeeping done. We are Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies. We're live from Lizzie Lou Studio. I put the Lou in Lizzie Lou, and my cousin Michelle, she puts the Lizzie in Lizzie Lou. Again, I don't see any comments, but I do see like 8 people watching. So if somebody could comment, very strange. Maybe we're having a weird glitch. I don't know. Let me see. I think my phone just dinged. There are links in the comments. Okay, for some reason, I can't see the comments. There they are. They're showing on stage, but I can't see them here in my software, and I apologize about that. Well, Kelly, thanks for letting me know that you can see them, and I guess I'll keep them there. So I see Carrie and Kathy and Bruce and Lisa and Kelly. Hello, everybody. And Carrie, again, thank you that you're going to keep track of all these names for me and that we're going to pull a name at the end of the night. I will keep the comments there, so let's keep the comments clean. But keeping that in mind, just remember, we are an 18 and over space. Sometimes I'm a little disturbed that we're not more disturbed by the disturbing things we talk about. You know I like to say that. But also, I want everybody to get comfortable. Pour a cup of coffee, pour a glass of wine, crack a cold beer. This is a 420 friendly space. Smoke them if you got them. You know I sure did. But you get my point. Get comfortable. Let your hair down. Just relax. And let's have a conversation. And Brad, I'm so glad that you joined us. I'm going to be chatting about Brad a little shortly, a little bit later. Let's see. So get comfortable. And like I said, we are live from Lizzie Lou's studio. Um, Celebrating 1,000 followers. Thank you, everyone. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Link in comments. Thank you. I am new to live streaming. So if you're gonna critique, please be kind. And I do apologize for whatever issue I'm having tonight that I can't view my comments. I'll definitely I'll let StreamYard know about that because I do pay for this software. Let's see. Next on my list, and you know me, I do have my notes and I've got my sparkly clipboard. I am surrounded by all kinds of things that make me happy. My purple pen, my flare pen, all that kind of stuff. So kind of in a nutshell, I'm going to tell you what we got going on tonight. It is chit chat and checking in. So I want to tell you about some things that Gals was up to in the past few weeks and what we've got coming up in the upcoming weeks. And I also want to tell you about our experiences at the SK Pierce Mansion last week. And I also want to tell you about a whole bunch of other things. But all that being said, I do want you to know that I'm not here to do a presentation on the SK Pierce Mansion. I'm going to give a little bit of the history and talk, but mainly talk about my experiences, and I hope to hear yours as well. Hi, Erin. Hi, Ashley Johnson. Welcome to Gals. And again, I don't know why I can't see comments, but anyways, not going to complain. I can view them on screen. So again, welcome everybody. Again, everybody who comments will get entered into a drawing tonight to win these. The Pink Gothic Tarot. And also I do want to remind folks, anybody, I'll take care of this one afterwards. Anybody who comments will also be entered in this raffle. This raffle's been going on for some time. We're giving away this creepy doll head REM pod on April 25th. So you'll be entered into that drawing as well. But tonight we're going to give away we're going to give these away on the air. Hi, Sue. You're going to get a shout out shortly as well. So stick around. Nice to see you. And I'm sure Nathan is not far behind. So yeah, so we got a couple of giveaways tonight. One of them will definitely be live tonight. And again, you don't have to be present to win. I'll DM you later and give you a shout out on Facebook, whoever wins the tarot cards. Anybody who did try to tune in last week, I tried to schedule a live stream in advance and I screwed it up and I apologize. Remind you all, I am my own production assistant. And I was off having a good time at the SK Pierce Mansion. And again, I'm looking forward to telling you guys about some of the crazy experiences that we had there. Let's say, what else? Also, while I am talking about 1,000 followers, I want to say, I really, I have to say, KT Carol, welcome. Nice to see you. I want to say hello to my first followers, my cousin Michelle, Lisa Aubie, Kathy Ferrara, and Christine Pacelli. My very first followers. Thank you, you guys. I really appreciate you. And you still follow and we still chat today and you're still my friends and I really appreciate all of that. Thank you all very much. And keep sticking around because we've got some really fun stuff coming up in the months to come. And let's see, what do we got next in my list? Next week, I will not be live streaming on Friday or Saturday. Next week, usually I have Fridays off, so shout out to Ladybug Pest Control. As always, live streaming is my hobby. Ladybug Pest Control is my full-time job, and my job is very supportive of my live streaming, and I appreciate that. But next week, I am working on Friday, and I do have plans on Saturday, so next weekend, I'm looking at the calendar here, we will be live streaming Sunday morning, April 5th at 11 a.m. Coffee hour. Bring your favorite coffee cup. Oh, look at that. Can you see the green screen through my green things there? But anyways, bring your favorite coffee cup and we'll have coffee hour next weekend. So no live stream Friday or Saturday night. It'll be Sunday at 11 instead. I do want to say this for everybody who is watching. The Reverend Mark is in the house. For everybody who's watching, I feel like it almost took me a little bit longer to reach 1,000 followers than I could have. I could have reached 1,000 followers sooner, but I want to tell you that weekly, weekly, usually on Sunday mornings with a cup of coffee, I open up my Facebook followers list on my Gals, Ghosts and Ladies page, and I look at every name on that list. And I make sure that it's not anybody that shouldn't be there. And about 2 months ago, I had something weird happen. Like all of a sudden, ding, 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 all this crazy, crazy activity on Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies page. And when I looked to see what the activity was, it was one person, one guy, and what he had done, this guy had taken the time to go through and laugh at like all 700 of my posts. And I said, this is so not cool, not for me as gals, and not for any of my followers. I think that that opens people up, like for hacking when people have nefarious motives. So I went in and I blocked them. So I feel like we could have celebrated 1,000 followers a little sooner, but it would have been at the risk of keeping people safe. So I do want to remind you that Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies, I'm a real person, and I do look at our follow. So now this Sunday, I'll be looking at 1,011 names. And just making sure that there's no nefarious motives there. And yeah, Kelly, really creepy. And so there really is a human being behind Gals. Full disclosure, I use AI every now and then to generate some fun graphics, but my posts are human generated. So there's nothing bought about me or anything like that. So I do want to keep my followers safe, and I don't want to put anybody at the risk of being hacked, not you guys, on myself. And it is like the Wild West. Somebody's got to moderate it, Kelly. It might as well be me. Um, Auntie Jen here to keep everybody safe from the internet. Um, but thank you for appreciating that. Thank you for appreciating that. So now what do I have next? Next I want to, very, very exciting. I want to talk about Bradford Scott, S.K. Pierce docent, as it were, and published author. So we'll talk about Brad. Brad gives tours at the S.K. Pierce Mansion, and he's a wonderful tour guide, very knowledgeable, and fun and funny and lighthearted, but again, very knowledgeable. But also, and he's a friend of mine, and I'm glad to say that, but Brad is also a published author, and his book came out, and my copy came last Wednesday. Altionum Spiritus, Timmy's Revenge. I'm about 60 pages in at this point. And like I said, it just came Wednesday, but I'm going to hold it up here for a minute. And I just have to tell you that about 60 pages in, it's every night in bed I'm reading it. I can't put it down. I can't wait to see what happens next at every turn. Brad has really written a really good story. I am drawn right in. The characters, he's talking about a teen girl. Well, I can totally get teen girl coming off this character. Descriptive. It's easy to follow the story. The plot goes along very well. It's well written. Brad, you really knocked it out of the park with this, and I would recommend to anybody. You can order this on Amazon. Oh, hi, Lenny. My friend Lenny, I was in hair and makeup and she knows it. But honestly, I would recommend to anybody that you get Bradford Scott's book. This is excellent. And I just can't wait at every page, like what's next, what's next. And I can't wait to see how this turns out. So far I have to come up with a gals rating system. We're giving this 5 gals. So order your copy on Amazon today. I think it's also available on Kindle, and I think it's also available in softcover, but I purchased the hardcover, and oops, sorry about that. I purchased the hardcover, and I'm very happy with it, and it was very affordable. I think it was less than $25. So if you have a chance to read Bradford Scott book, I highly recommend it. It's a great book. And again, when I finish this tonight, I'm going to get back to it. Thank you so much, Brad. And while I'm bringing up Brad, I also want to say congratulations to my friend Sue, Susan Jacobucci, published again in Haunted Travels Volume 2. I'm not sure what the subject is. I just briefly saw the post, and I nabbed it. I wanted to give a shout out. And I have to tell you that Sue is definitely one of my favorite published authors as well. Sue writes very descriptive. She writes historical essays, I would call them. Uh, very descriptive. You really feel like you're there. And also, Sue is very good at citing her sources. If you want to know where she got her information, you will know. So I highly recommend reading Brad's book, and I highly recommend reading any article or essay written by Sue that you guys can get your hands on. So that's my plugs for some of my friends. And I still can't see comments, huh? Strangely, I don't know why. But anyways, guys, that wraps up page 1 of my notes. So giving shout outs again, Ultionum Spiritus, Timmy's Revenge by author Bradford Scott. Read it. It is so good. And Anything You Can by Sue Jacobucci. So let's see. All right. Before we get on to SK Pierce, I want to tell you 2 weeks ago, what was Cal's up to? It was a crazy weekend. I live streamed from someplace that was not Lizzie Lou Studios. And I did a couple of like impromptu live streams. And there's Linny from Braintree. Linny from Braintree. Thanks for calling in, Linny. Um, this is Jennifer's advice for the lovelorn. No, it isn't. So, anyways, sorry, back to this. I got distracted. You're welcome, Brad. I meant every word, and I mean it. You guys get out there and read it. And Sue's book stories about a haunted restaurant in St. Paul, Minnesota, Four Paws Restaurant. Get out there and read it. And Linny, we can read your comments. You're doing very well. Watch your language in case my Aunt Kathy tunes in. Thank you. All right, on to other things. So I was saying, a couple weeks back, I was very, very fortunate enough to be a production assistant for the show Truth or Scare on the Paranormal XL network. So now I dropped those links in comments. Please, please, please follow Paranormal XL and follow Truth or Scare. I'm going to be a contestant on Truth or Scare, and my live stream is going to be moving over to the Paranormal XL network. They're busy. I'm busy. We've got so many things in the works, but this is definitely moving over there. And thank you, Carrie, that the comments are on YouTube. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks. I'm going to let you guys comment amongst yourselves since I can't really see them in a regular fashion. So onward and upward. So again, please follow and like the Paranormal XL network. I did drop a link. That was really, really exciting. I was a real production assistant. I booked 3 locations for filming in 3 days. It was like boom, boom, boom. I booked how many? I booked 8 contestants. I'm going to name drop here: Matt Warner, Courtney Buckley, Christy Parrish, myself. I was one. Two Brothers Extreme Paranormal out of Middletown, Connecticut, who are great guys. Everybody who participated was great. Jeff Mackey, my new friend Jeff Mackey, and Sue Jacobucci. They were also participants, but participants have to be vetted. You have to know what you're getting into. Oh, and I assisted with research, and so it was a lot of fun. It was 3 days of whirlwind activity, and helped out with various tasks. And I think it's going to look good on the proverbial resume. I learned a lot. I helped with paperwork, so it's very, very exciting. And stay tuned because the episodes have to be edited, but they're going to be released. Yeah, very, very cool. It was very, very exciting, and I look forward to being involved more with the Paranormal XL network. You're going to hear more about them here. And again, the XL network in general, they've got so much more to offer besides just paranormal. Check them out. Let's see. And I also want to thank my friend Kerry at Previously Possessed Painted Furniture, because if I was a production assistant to Paranormal XL Network, Carrie was production assistant to me. So thank you, Carrie. And I definitely feel like I can count on you. Oh, hi, Kelly, over on YouTube. Okay, thank you for letting me know. But Carrie, thank you so much for helping out. I really appreciate that. I felt like we were such a team, and we're going to be a team going forward. And Sybil and you too. Nice to see you too. And we're a team, and we're a team with Kelly, and we miss Kelly. Um, so, anyways, yeah, Carrie was just such a big help, and we had many many laughs throughout the weekend. Carrie and I, many laughs. I can't even begin to tell you. So next on the list, I want to talk about my friend, my new friend Jeff Mackey. Jeff Mackey is Ghost Quest solo. I posted a link to his video at the SK Pierce Mansion. If I had more time, and such is life, if I had more time, I was going to take some clips from his video and post them here. I didn't have time, but I highly recommend that you watch his video. But I did have time to take some video clips from my visit last weekend, so we're definitely going to see some video clips and hear some spooky SK Pierce stories right here on Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies 1000 follower special. So I'm so glad everybody's here. It looks like we've got 13 viewers right now, and I'm so excited. Um, Kelly sees you, Lenny. Kelly, Lenny is my bestie, bestest bestie. I have a few besties. She's my bestest bestie. So yeah, we see you, Lenny. So anyway, so Jeff Mackey, Ghost Quest solo. Check out that video. And watch and like and follow and share. And he's also such a nice guy. I'm so glad that that Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies is connecting with Ghost Quest Solo and doing a bunch of stuff together with him. So yeah, make sure you check that out. And also, I want to take a minute and tell Jeff, very sorry about the loss of your dog, Pudding. So I'm very, very sorry, and I cried when I saw that. And Jeff dedicated his video to his dog who passed away the night that he did his solo at the SK Pierce Mansion. And I often wonder if those kind of emotions play into having more activity, because I feel like Jeff had a very active solo night there. Got to be brave to do that play solo, because wait till you hear some of the one room I left. Wait till you hear. Um, So let's see. Yeah, so last weekend, my friend Joan, who is my other bestie, Joan, I've been friends with Joan since 1976. We've been friends for 50 years. So that's, I think that qualifies in a bestie category for sure. But Joan and I went to the SK Pierce Mansion last weekend, and we did an overnight ghost hunt, and it was so much fun. We did this overnight through, bear with me. Are You Afraid of the Dark Paranormal Events LLC? And there is definitely a link in comments, because Lisa Linney's comments, I think she's in YouTube. But Are You Afraid of the Dark Paranormal Events LLC? These guys put on the best night. What a fun, exciting night. Trisha was there, Joan was there, Katie and Joanna were there, and so many cool people, and Pixie was there, and so many. Bruce, you were born in 1976. Yeah, me and Joan have been friends since then. Um, Sue, you watched Jeff's investigation. He did a really good job editing, and I think he's a kindred spirit with us. And I don't mean the TV show, you know what I mean. But Are You Afraid of the Dark Paranormal Events LLC and Haunted AF? They're the ones that put this overnight on, and it was fantastic. What a nice group of people. What a wonderful event they had. It was inclusive, it was friendly, it was funny. And we were fortunate enough. We had Marion. Don't get me wrong, Brad, you're great, but Marion also does a great tour too. So Marion did a tour for us, and she's very fun and funny, and she knows that house inside and out. So all these folks, and I just can't say enough good things about them. And the Are You Afraid of the Dark people? Olivia, Ricky, Christina, and Tiffany. Again, Thank you. And when they posted, what they said afterwards was that the whole group just vibed. And I got to tell you, the whole group just vibed. It was a great night, and it was filled with personal experiences, and we captured experiences, and it was fun. It was comfortable. It was inclusive. And it was an overnight, and we got to sleep over because, boy, that place was a little far out. Let's see what we got here. So I do have a map, and I came from Boston, and Joan came kind of from the Hartford area, and she drove up, I drove west, and we met in Gardner, and that's where the S.K. Pierce Mansion is. Let me show that again. I realized when I watch these afterwards that I have a tendency to show it and pull it down because I've seen the picture 100 times in getting ready for the show. So, anyways, I drove from Boston to Gardner, about an hour and 25 minutes or so, and Joan, basically from the Hartford area to Gardner. And let's see, when you get to where you're going, this is where you're going. So if anybody watching has never seen the S.K. Pierce Mansion before, I took that picture, and then I also used a little Photoshop magic to get rid of the telephone lines and to blur out the house behind it. But if you've never seen it before, tell me that's not something right out of the freaking Addams Family, right? You come around a corner and up a hill, and there's this house, and it's just in this neighborhood, and it's across the street from a bar and from a pizza place and a packy and it's kind of off the beaten path, and so yeah, that's the S.K. Pierce Mansion in Gardner, Massachusetts. And Bruce, yeah, you got to go there. They've been having a lot of stuff lately. Very, very fun. Listen, guys, this house is what's the word? It's pristine. It's spotless. It's been restored. It's been repaired. It's been fixed. It's been cleaned. It's been polished. It's been and I certainly have driven further, Kristen, that's for sure. But I'm going to put the house back up there again. I know it's got a vibe to it, almost looks spooky, but again, it's so clean and well kept, and the interior is so clean and well kept. Let me see if that's what I want to show next for pictures. Here we go. Okay, so I mean, look at the doorway, the picture on the left, and the shine on the floor, the reflection of the door. And I just thought that was a cool picture. These are my pictures. And then you've got a picture of that doll. That doll sits on the piano in the men's parlor. And then on the bottom right, you've got the bed in Sylvester Knowlton Pierce's bedroom, and I had a personal experience there, and then an equipment malfunction. I'll tell you about that. But yeah, it's a stunningly beautiful home. And Carrie, what's your question mark about? Um, oh, that doll is very, very creepy. Very creepy. And I think that her name is Elizabeth. I'll tell you about that later. Well, I have a clip. But, anyways, pardon me, I got to turn my heat around. You all know Lizzie Lou Studio is chilly, and I have to be comfortable. So, let's see. So, let me take that down. And I've got another picture. I took a ton of pictures, but I've only shown a few here. The one on the left, the fireplace in the gentleman's parlor. I was standing the thing where the candle is, that's the piano, and there's the fireplace, and the dresser and the mirror, that is also S.K. Pierce's bedroom. And then on the bottom right, you see the pretty little Tiffany lamp and the dressmaker's dummy. Those were in my room. Those were in my room, and I had some experiences in there that I can't wait to tell you about. And I felt lucky my room had that lamp in it. Not every room had a lamp, so I didn't have to have an overhead light on. Um, but just again, look at the floors and the wallpaper. It's not original wallpaper, but it has been it's been redone, and it's Maddie, is that her name? Thank you for telling me that, Brad. That would be Maddie's room there. So personally, I had experiences in Maddie's room, and then I also had experiences upstairs in Susan and Sarah's room, and I also had experiences in Mr. Pierce's bedroom. So I just can't wait to tell you guys about all that kind of stuff. But I'll tell you again, in this house, it's very ornate woodwork. Again, I am not here to give an entire history of the house. There's resources for that. You can book a tour. You can look them up online. I'm going to tell you a few little things in the context of my visit there, and the few little things that I know. So, anyways, there's 21 rooms in that house there, and there's 9,518 square feet. Now I'm sitting in my little 2,000 square foot house thinking I have got a mansion here. Well, I don't. That's a mansion, 9,500 square feet and 21 rooms. It was finished in 1875. When I was starting to say it's got very ornate woodwork, Mr. Pierce was he was a Freemason, and throughout the home you would find evidence of Freemason throughout the woodwork. And yes, Maddie was the nanny for the children, Brad is saying, and I slept in the nanny's room, and I had an experience, and again, I just can't wait to tell you about it. I'm so excited, so excited. And Brad, thank you for kind of filling in some of the blanks as I go along. Like I said, I'm not really doing a history, so please forgive me. But again, evidence of Freemasonry everywhere, built into the woodwork. Um, it's a stunningly beautiful home. Sadly, Mr. Pierce built the home after he built the home. Shortly after he built it, his first wife Susan died. From what I could find, something called er, er, erysipelas, which is basically a staph infection of the skin. So this would have been in 1875. They probably didn't have the antibiotics that we have today. Something like a simple cellulitis could turn into a staph infection, could get infected. I mean, infected teeth killed people, you know what I mean? So, anyways, she died of that, and it was basically a staph infection of the skin. And sadly, excuse me, sadly, it sounds like it was a really difficult way for her to go. There were blisters and fevers. 2 weeks, Brad is saying 2 weeks after the house was finished, but blisters and feverish and infection, and just very, very sad way to go. And then Mr. Pierce married, and Brad, correct me if I'm wrong, I think her name was Emily after that, and Emily was the same age, if not younger, than the oldest son that he had with Susan. So that caused some discord in the family. And I'm not going to get into all the discord. Again, very interesting history. I recommend that you look it up yourself. This Ellen, thank you, Brad. I said Emily. Her name was Ellen. The S.K. Pierce Mansion in Gardner, Massachusetts. By the way, Gardner, Massachusetts is the furniture capital of New England. So all of my New England peeps out there that are watching, you've all sat in a Gardner furniture chair. You've all sat in an S.K. Pierce chair somewhere in your lifetime. And also, Gardner, Massachusetts is the home to one of those big chairs. I haven't sat in it yet, but one of these trips there, I'm going to go get my picture taken in it. Um, but that's a little bit about the place. And I was interested to learn that. So, in a house like that, you've got kind of separation. You've got ladies' parlors, you've got gentlemen's parlors, you had a billiard room, you had servants' quarters, the master bedroom. Mike and Adam, oh my God, thanks for joining, two brothers. Um, the married couples had separate bedrooms, and separate dressing rooms and separate bathrooms and that kind of thing. But it was interesting that I found that the ladies' parlor, and I didn't know this, the ladies' parlor on the first floor also doubled as a place to hold wakes. I don't want to say a funeral parlor. I'm not necessarily sure it was funerals, but it was a place to hold wakes. Many dead bodies passed through that ladies' parlor. They were laid out because it was a place that could hold that volume of people locally. So I thought that was interesting as well. Because I had not heard that from my 3 visits there. I hadn't heard that before. So I think that just kind of lends something else to that story as well. um, to the kind of the history of the house. Many famous visitors have passed through that house. Betty Davis was a visitor there. P.T. Barnum was a visitor to that home. At one point, the Fiji mermaid was in that house. And now, from what I understand, Cody and Satori have purchased the Fiji mermaid and they have it now. So that's no longer there. But again, just telling you about the famous visitors that went through there. I think Calvin Coolidge went through there, and I'm sure other famous people, but those were three that I knew about. Um, and if you do, if you're fortunate enough to ever go to the S.K. Pierce Mansion, they've got photos. People have taken some wonderful photos of paranormal activity and ghosts, and they've printed them out and have them framed for you to look at and enjoy. And there's some really cool pictures. There's a little boy ghost Gordon, and a few other. One of the Mrs. Pierces seems to be caught on camera, so a lot of cool stuff like that. If you just, even if you don't do a paranormal investigation at the S.K. Pierce Mansion, book a tour. It's a great ride out. If you're going from Connecticut, it's through cow and bull country. If you're going from Boston, it's through moose country. So it makes a really nice ride. Go out there, book a tour for a day, have some lunch, do some sightseeing. You won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed. Also, important piece of history of the house is to mention is, and please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing it, Eno Sari. He was a man of descended from Finland. He was Finnish descent, and at one point, the S.K. Pierce Mansion was a rooming house, and he lived there, and he burned to death in his room, caught fire, smoking a cigarette. And I guess in the room there's, well, not I guess, I saw it with my own eyes, there's a piece of burnt wood from before the renovations that they kept and they framed and they put in that room. And in that room, people leave things. They leave like nip bottles of alcohol and they leave cigarettes and tokens like that for him. It's a very sad story. But my good friend Trisha got some EVPs in that room, I can tell you that. Um, but so the house, anyways, has passed through many hands through the years. Oh, and at one point, and I hope to remember to tie this in a little later. At one point, a former owner found a pelvic bone in the basement, and when they turned the pelvic bone over to the authorities, and it was inspected and looked at, it turns out it was the pelvic bone to a 16-year-old girl. So hold that thought about the pelvic bone to a 16-year-old girl. It was found in a cistern in the basement. Um, Speaking of cistern, Mr. Pierce, I guess he designed this house, and he designed this house with like rain catchments and snow melt catchments on the roof of this house so that this house had running water. So he had big tanks that would catch it. And when they were filled, they would go down in the cellar, fill another tank, go up, get filled. So very, very ingenious. And that original equipment still is in the house. It's not functional, but the original ropes and the original chains and the original like water containment system are there. And I think that's a really cool piece of history as well. Very, very ingenious. I think a little bit ahead of his time. Also interesting to note that his house faced his furniture factory, and his bedroom faced his furniture factory, and the office in his house faced his furniture factory so that he could always see it. The kiln. Thank you, Brad, for correcting me. I said cistern. It's a kiln in the basement in the washroom. That's where the bone of the 16-year-old was found. But everything important to like Mr. Pierce faces the house, and also there used to be back in the day tunnels under the house that led to the furniture factory. So that's kind of creepy, kind of weird, and it's kind of micromanagement, even though they didn't have that expression back in the day. But they also didn't have labor laws, and they didn't have unions, and so on and so on and so forth. But anyways, so again, I want to keep that thought about that pelvic bone. I think I'm gonna kind of tie in for that. But the house has been very, very lovingly restored. It's so beautiful. Anybody passing through this live stream right now, honestly, if you have a chance to visit the S.K. Pierce Mansion in Gardner, Massachusetts, go. Whether you go on a paranormal investigation or you go at Christmas, and I was so lucky to go at Christmas. It was all decked out with decorations. But if you go to a wreath making class, whatever you do, And Brad is saying in the comments that the front door that no one uses is the real front door and goes directly to the factory. Um, that the other doors that people use are also the original doors, and they're like 200 pounds, but they have the original hinges and they open and close so easily. The house not only looks beautiful, but it's engineered. It's got good bones, as they say. The architecture is very, very impressive. It's well built. So Brad says the door that we use now is the servant's door, which is fine with me. I don't mind using the servant's entrance. It's a beautiful door and it's right next to the parking lot. So that works for me. But God, there's no dust in this house. There's no cobwebs in this house. It's just really, really something else. It is, oh, drop my notes. It is just absolutely beautiful. So, geez, guys, on that note, I want to share a couple of experiences that I had if you all want to hear about them. Um, I do have a video there, and I do see that I have been talking for 40 minutes now. So it's definitely time to break out some evidence. And also, I mean, this is StreamYard. If anybody wants to come on, jump on your cell phone and tell us a story, please do. I can add you onto the screen or tell your story in comments. Because I think everybody can see the comments. And Carrie, you're keeping track of those names for us. Remember, guys, I'm giving this away tonight. Hello, Michelle. The Lizzie of Lizzie Lou has arrived. So I am giving these away tonight. Let's see. And I do want to remind you that we are celebrating 1,000 followers tonight. Thank you all so much. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Link in comments. Thank you. Of course you made it, Michelle. I'm better late than never, right? I'm so glad you're here. So, all right, let's see. Let me see what I can put up on the stage here. So we're going to start with when my friend Joan and I got to Gardner. We met in a parking lot to kind of figure out our plan. We ended up deciding to go for pizza with a couple of friends. And thank you for that. Congratulations, Kristen. Thank you very much. So Joan and I met, and I put on the ghost tube, and I asked a question, and this is how our day started. So listen closely. You're going to hear me ask a question. We get an answer, and then I'm going to play the answer follows again, kind of in slow audio, not slow motion. You know what I mean. Can you tell us what town we're in? Like the So I'd be happy to play that for you again. We're sitting in the parking lot. And I have the ghost tube on, and I ask, can you tell us what town we're in? And let's give that a listen again. Can you tell us what town we're in? Like the Oh, hi, Carrie. I'm so glad that you made it. Nice to see you. But yeah, look, we were in Gardner, Massachusetts. So I really liked that was how our afternoon started before we did anything, that we got a good response on the spirit on one of the spirit boxes from GhostTube, which I highly recommend. I like GhostTube very, very much. Yeah, Sue, isn't that cool? Very, very exciting. So I do have, I'm going to put that back up. Let's see what is next on that. I've got all my clips on one video. Oh, next we're going to see some orbs. Okay. What I do want to say about orbs, let me jump back on for a second. Looks like I'm a little delayed there for a second. Okay. What I want to say about orbs, or as I like to call them, light anomalies. I realize there are two schools of thought, and of course there's always middle of the road, but there are dust and there moths or whatever. or their spirits. Well, I think that for every orb that I show you, there are 5 things that I have debunked, okay? These are things that I find have no independent light source. There's no reason for dust to be there, or that the orbs coincided with something, or you'll see at times. Oh, here's one for you. So Sue, I'm going to call you out there. Sue, if you recall when we had Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies, Anything Goes, you had asked me, I think it was you had asked me, if I thought that certain people attracted certain things. And I said, absolutely, absolutely. I said, Kelly, my good friend Kelly, is an orb magnet. Well, not only is Kelly an orb magnet, but Katie Stacy, anybody who knows Katie, orbs like Katie and her cousin Joanna too, and you'll see that in some of these clips. So I think that some people do attract certain types of activity, whether it's electromagnetic or whatever. I am not knowing, but again, when I show you what I believe to be a quote unquote orb, or more accurately, a light anomaly, I have seen other night light anomalies that I have, for myself, convincingly debunked as dust, or something to do with a camera light or an insect or that kind of thing. And also, I'm in pest control. I know insects when I see it. I think, I like to think. But the other thing that I said also about the SK Pierce Mansion, this was a very clean. I've been in, and I've been in dusty places, and you don't always see the dust on the screen. So I like these light anomalies, and I think that they've got some context sometimes if you see them with people, so or near people. So let's see. This is Joanna, and it's in slow motion. And I hope you can. Let's see. Let's back up there. I feel like maybe that froze for a second. Always the challenges of doing a live stream are real time glitches. And that went right through her. I hope you all saw that, and you can go back and watch it again. And here's Katie. You see that bright one. Watch this one again. This is Katie. So that's a pretty cool light anomaly. And again, earlier we saw Joanna, but Katie really tends to be like Kelly, like, yes, an orb magnet. Hashtag orb magnet. Again, Katie. That one was very faint, but it went right to the top of her head. So let's watch that again. It went right to the top of her head. And there it goes. I hope you all could see that. And let's see what we've got here. Well, that one was pretty obvious. Now, I paused it because the next room that we've got is the room that I slept in, and that's Maddie, the nanny's room. And this room was adjoining with the children's room, and that's where my friend Joan slept. So these were our rooms. I'm going to show you a couple of light anomalies, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about an experience, a strange experience that we had in there. So here goes. So we're watching for light anomalies again. There it goes. It's very strange. I hope you all saw that. That came right out of the bed that I slept in. I'll show it again. Comes up from the bed. Oh, I missed it. There it goes. All right, and what's next? Oh, another one from my room. Let's see. That was fast by the bedpost. Couple of them. Several of them. Now I'm in the room. That's me. And there was one. And there goes another one across the room. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed those light anomalies. Some of them were easier to see than others. I hope you go back and watch them again. Some of them totally cool, but I like the faint ones because again, the very faint one right into Katie's head, kind of cool. Um, anyways, let's see what's next. What else happened at the SK Pierce Mansion? Oh, let me set this clip up, okay? Okay, guys, let me set this clip up. Upstairs on the third floor, I was in the room. Thank you, Lisa. I was in the room of Susan and Sarah. Susan and Sarah, if I understand correctly, were the 16 and 17-year-old, kind of the heads of the servants. And, back in the day, young women were women. People were adults at younger ages back then. Thank you, Sue. I thought they were pretty good catches too. But I was on the third floor, and I'm in these girls' rooms, Sarah and Susan, the head servants. I'm in a room here. Down the hall and to the right is the billiard room, the men's billiard room. So I'm up the hall, probably 20 feet, and you can't see in the rooms because I'm on one side and there's a group of people, the haunted AF people, the people who hosted the event, they were in that front room. So nobody could see each other. We were 20 feet away, separate rooms, could barely hear them, and they couldn't really hear us. So Joan and I go in there and we're kind of poking around, and I put the camera down and I stood in front of the mirror in the servants' room. And this is what happened, and then I will tell you more about what happened. Two things happened, okay? And here we go. I'm staring in a mirror in here. Oh my God, I'm completely gone. Phew, I'm back. Oh my God, I'm completely gone. Phew, I'm back. You heard that, right? So the camera's in a really bad place, but I'm glad at least it caught the audio of what was going on. I was standing in front of the mirror in Sarah and Susan's room, and I completely disappeared, and I could see the wall behind me, staring in the mirror. I wouldn't say I was scrying. I just stood there and said, "Oh, look in this mirror," and phew, I'm back because I was completely gone. It's staring like this into the mirror. It was creepy as shit. And then this happened. Leave now. I will do that. Thank you. Oh my God. She said leave now, and I watched myself get up and move. Oh my God. I could see myself move, and I wasn't moving. Hey. Whoops. I could see myself move, and I wasn't moving. You heard me say that. So after I disappeared and I came back, I was staring. And then the spirit box said, leave now. And I said, you bet I am out of here. I saw, as I was looking in the mirror, I swear to God, this is true. And those of you who know me, you'll believe me. Staring at myself in the mirror, I saw myself leave out of the top of my head and come right back. I saw my physical self leave out of the top of my head and come right back. I was leaving and I came back, and the spirit box said, leave now. And I said, you bet I am out of here, because that freaked me out. So that was very, very creepy. Oh my God. So the first thing that happened was staring in that mirror. I completely disappeared. And the second thing that happened staring in that mirror was I saw myself leave. next time I'm staying. I want to see how that turns out. Oh my God, it scared the shit out of me, but I'm staying next. I was like, what the hell, Jennifer? You paid $170 to have an experience and you left. But wait, there's more. Okay. So, like I said, and right back, it was insane. Kathy and Lynn, yes, I can see you. I can see you on Facebook. I could see you on YouTube too. But anyways, so I could see my face, my head, everything go out and like up to my right and then come right back. And we hightailed it out of there. And we went downstairs and did a few things and blah, 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 blah. And at midnight, everybody convened in the kitchen for a midnight dessert bar. So we had some goodies and everybody was talking about how their night was going so far. And I said about my experience, what happened to me in in Susan and Sarah's room, that I left myself and came right back. And the people, I think it was Ricky is his name, and what's the other girl's name? Shit, I can't remember. But I was telling them the story in the kitchen in front of everybody, and they said, "Oh my God, we saw you." And I said, "What?" I was here. They were down the hall, and they were here, right, with a hallway and doorways in between us. My, I don't know, ethereal self, whatever you want to call it, my discorporeal self, my ethereal self, left my body. They saw me go in the doorway and pull back. They saw something go in, and they were the ones in that room when I was in that room. So when I left my body, I went into the billiard room. They saw me and saw me leave quickly. So I am totally amazed that I was able to validate this experience with some pretty cool people. And it was very, very exciting. So that was one of the coolest experience I've personally ever had in my life, and I'm so glad my friend Joan was there to enjoy it with me, and I'm so glad that that the folks from Paranormal AF were there, and to really share this experience and know that it was validated by people 20 feet down the hall, couldn't see each other, couldn't hear each other, and when I said what happened, they were like, "Oh my God, that explains everything." So I think I can't wait to go back to the SK Pierce Mansion and stand in front of that mirror again. But now, remember I said that a pelvic bone to a 16-year-old was found in the kiln in the basement. Throughout the researching of the history of this house, there is no known ending or demise. Nobody knows what happened to Sarah and Susan, the 16 and 17-year-old servants that were on the third floor down the hall from the billiard room where the men drank and played pool and smoked cigars and did many other things, as anybody who's ever spent time in that closet knows. So very interesting that the I don't know, something happened in that room with the in the servants' room that is connected with the billiards room. And anyways, yes, very, very cool experience. And I am going to cherish that. And I love that it was validated by another professional group of people, that really, really helps a lot. And my mind was just blown. So let's see, what else do I have in store here? We've got just a couple more clips, I think, maybe just one more. Let's see, what is it? Okay, I'm almost ready to wrap it up. Before I show this last clip, I do want to tell. Before I show this last clip, I do want to tell a experience that I had in Mr. Pierce's bedroom, but also an electronic malfunction. I downloaded all my footage. I had 22 clips from the overnight at SK Pierce Mansion. Most of them 10 minutes long, so it's a lot of footage. But downloaded them all without incident. when I was downloading them, I say without incident. No, I had an incident. When I was downloading them, clip number 6 said my computer didn't have enough room. And yeah, it does. It's a new computer. I got it all set up for video. You know me, blah, blah. So I thought that was strange. So I had to download it again, and I had trouble downloading it, and it finally downloaded. And then when I finally sat down into the software yesterday and started going through the clips, every clip I have is great. Every clip works. Audio works, video works, no problem. Camera worked fine. The video clip in Mr. Pierce's room worked fine until we reached a point where I asked somebody to film me. And then the camera just froze and stays frozen for the rest of the clip and never captures what happened. And what happened was I was sitting on Mr. Pierce's bed and I felt something playing with my hair. And I'd asked Katie to film for me, and the camera, there's no other issues with the camera for the rest of the night. The camera completely malfunctioned. The footage is completely frozen, and it's just really weird that it happened at that particular time. With an interaction with what I thought was like Mr. Pierce. So it was very there's almost like a very flirty kind of feel to it. And I was staying in Maddie the nanny's room, and he had access to the nanny's room through a communication tube. So I think there may have been a connection there. Anyway, so I wanted to share that with you. I'm sorry that we don't have footage because it was just really bizarre. Of all the footage of all night long is that one little clip. And astral projection, Sue. Absolutely, that's what it was, and I am game. Scared the shit out of me the first time, but I am ready. I am ready. Um, but I hope you'll be with me because I'll need somebody to hold my hand. Anyways, so now I'm going to wrap things up with this clip. This will be the last clip, and then we'll work towards wrapping things up. This is pretty freaking cool too. There are definitely some light anomalies in here, and there is audio to this clip, and I'll explain.
Good morning, Jennifer.
So I'm going to pause it there because I had the camera going in the nanny's room where I was sleeping, and my friend Joan was sleeping. She had a twin bed in the other room, and we were connected by a little closet or a little hallway. And you just heard her say, "Good morning, Jennifer." She had just woken up. But previous to that, there is oh, hi, Elaine. Glad you could join us. Previous to that, you hear something that anybody who has a video camera knows this noise. Something is speaking right up into the microphone. So it's not my friend Joan because she's in the other room. So let's hear this again, and I want you to hear how we hear, and also notice when we hear this noise that sounds like a voice that is clearly right up against the microphone to the video camera. I don't flinch. I don't flinch. I don't hear this. And then after a minute or so, you hear Joan clearly from the other room, not up against the microphone. So this is not Joan that you hear. Let's give a listen. That noise. That is something right up against the microphone. I'm not coughing. Joan is in the other room, and you'll hear how kind of far away she sounds.
Good morning, Jennifer.
And then there's a whole bunch of orbs. So I captured some sort of disembodied voice that, oops, I captured a disembodied voice. Looks like I'm waiting for my video to catch up. There we go. I captured a disembodied voice that I didn't hear with my own ears that is definitely right up. I have an external speaker on a shoe on my or external mic on a shoe, and that's like right up against it like that. And then I didn't even hear it, and after a minute, again, you hear my friend Joan in the other room, kind of, good morning, Jennifer, clearly far away. So those were just some of the experiences that I had at the SK Pierce Mansion that I'm telling you, if I'm telling you about that handful of experiences, trust me, there were so many more to be had, and I have so much more footage to go through. I love that house, and I can't wait to go back again. It's full of history. It's so well cared for, so well maintained. The people who give the tours are so knowledgeable. I can't say enough good things about everybody. Oh, and look, all my comments, all it says, all my comments just showed up at once. Yay! Nice to see everybody. Thank you. My good friend Carrie is keeping track of everybody's name. Carrie, I'm going to ask you. I think it's time for our giveaway. So, Carrie, you have taken everybody's name who has commented, and you're gonna she wrote them down. Um, thank you, Lisa, and she's gonna pull a name and DM me, and that's who I'm going to send this to. So while we're waiting for Carrie to do that, I just want to say again, I can't say enough good things about the people who run the SK Pierce Mansion. The people, I want to go back to my first page of notes because I want to get their name right. Um, so many notes. What was the name of the group? I Here it is. Are you afraid of the dark paranormal events LLC? I'm so sorry about that lag while I was looking for that. Please like and follow them. They put on a fantastic event, and I can't wait to go back again. All right, Carrie, how are we doing with the winner? Anything yet? Don't. Okay. Oh, Trisha, hi. So nice to see you. Well, I'm going to run my little ad again. I'm waiting to hear from Carrie on who our winner is, who I'm going to send this to. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're celebrating 1,000 followers. I just want to kind of say Elaine is saying at the Shanley. Oh, Elaine was at the Shanley Hotel last Saturday night. Elaine, oh my God, Michelle Mitchell won the pink tarot cards. Michelle Mitchell, you're the Lizzie in Lizzie Lou's Studios. Carrie, thank you for pulling the name. Thank you so much, Michelle. I'm not going to send this to you. I'm going to put a bow on it and hand deliver it to you in June. You know where, you know when, and you know why. I'm going to see you in June, so I'll bring it to you then. Oh, congratulations, Michelle. Thank you so much, Terry, for managing that. Michelle's going to be thrilled. Michelle, you're going to be very, very happy about that. And everybody's so happy for Michelle. That's awesome, Michelle. Yay. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be seeing Michelle in June. She's my cousin. Now, I was talking about best friends earlier. Michelle is my first best friend. First best friend I ever had. So listen, guys and gals, again, one more time, I wanted to say thank you all very much for helping me reach over 1,000 followers. At this point, I think I'm at 1,011. I really appreciate it. I love all the engagement from everybody. I love hearing your stories. I appreciate that you let me share mine. I have so many more fun adventures up ahead, and I can't wait to tell everybody about them. Um, Michelle, everybody's congratulating you. If you're still there, Michelle. Carrie is congratulating you, and Kathy, and Bruce, and Kelly. Yay, Michelle. Uh, and don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. And and this, I wanted to add this. Next week, we won't be live streaming on Saturday. We're going to be having Sunday morning coffee at 11. Join us then. I have to work Friday. I'm going to the Peter Oliver house on Saturday night, and that's probably what we'll be talking about Sunday morning over coffee. Um, and you know us, anything goes here at Gals. Um, I love you too, Lisa, and I love everybody for watching and following. Thank you so much, and thank you for engaging, and thank you for a great show. Where we gave. Oh, and also don't forget to buy Brad's book. I think it's $22 on Amazon. It's a great read. It is a page turner, and I can't wait to see Brad again so he can sign this copy for me. Thank you, Brad. Whoops. Ah. Thank you. Anyways, yeah, on that note, guys, I am out of here. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next week, Sunday at 11, April 5th. Bye-bye. Thank you. There we go.